Keiki is your typical high schooler without a girlfriend. He shares the same desire as the others to fully embrace his youth. He awakens one morning from a depraved dream involving some of the girls he normally interacts with. That day after school, only to discover that the club room is filthy, the club's president, third-year student Takehara Sayuki, is already there practicing her calligraphy and creating a jumble of old writings to clean the club room. Keiki enlists the aid of his younger sister, Kuru Mizuha, as well as Kogi Yuika and Nanju Mao, two other club members. Subsequent to the cleanup, the girls exited the room upon disposing of the cleaning wastewater and returning to the classroom. Keiki stumbled upon an anonymous love letter and a panty, both directed at him. Seeking advice, he discussed the situation with his close friend Shuma Akiyama and deduced that the potential authors of the letter were the girls who participated in the cleanup, excluding Mizuha. Initiating his inquiry with Sayuki, Keiki chose to spend time with her. However, instead of unveiling the enigma behind the love letter, he uncovered Sayuki's inclination towards masochism and her desire for him to claim her as his submissive. After the unsuccessful attempt to uncover the sender of the love letter through the inquiry involving Sayuki, Keiki opted to probe Yuika. Following a brief conversation with his closest companion, he chose to spend time with her, similar to his prior investigation with Sayuki. No definite determination was reached regarding the sender's identity. However, what was revealed instead is that Yuika possesses sadistic tendencies and desires for Keiki to become her submissive. The unsuccessful inquiries resulted in Keiki being entangled in the peculiar romantic pursuits of both Yuika and Sayuki. They each employed various methods to win Keiki's affection, with Yuika resorting to luring him into an unoccupied classroom to immobilize him. When Yuika and Sayuki engaged in a dispute over who should claim him, Mao intervened and rescued the bound Keiki from both of their clutches. Following this incident, Mao openly conveyed her displeasure at the prospect of Keiki spending time with the two girls. Following the episode where Keiki was bound, Sayuki and Yuika opted to temporarily suspend their pursuit of Keiki in an attempt to reconcile. After the incident, Keiki endeavored to reconnect with Mao and even accompanied her and his closest friends to the arcade center. Despite Keiki's sincere efforts, Mao eventually disclosed that she's a fan of gay love between boys and wishes for him to date his best friend Shuma. In a private contemplation, she admitted her romantic feelings for Keiki. With Mao's confession, all potential candidates for the sender's identity were eliminated. Subsequently, Keiki found a photo of himself touching Sayuki's breast along with a letter in his shoebox. Having read the blackmail, Keiki proceeded to rendezvous with the blackmailer in the astronomy club room. To his realization, the blackmailer was a diminutive girl named Koharu Tori, attired in a hoodie. Koharu entreated Keiki to assist her in getting closer to his best friend, as she held romantic feelings for him. With some reluctance, Keiki acquiesced and endeavored to facilitate a connection between Shuma and Koharu. The process unfolded smoothly. Following a conversation with Koharu regarding the ongoing investigation into the center of the love letter, he opted to explore the building block housing the club rooms. During this time, he intervened and prevented a girl, now a prospective candidate for the sender's identity, from tumbling down the stairs. Her response was to bury her head into Keiki while blushing. Amid his quest to uncover the sender's identity, he encounters Ayano Fujimoto, the girl he had rescued the previous day. Following a brief conversation, she once again buries her face into his chest. Yuika resumes her pursuit of Keiki's affection as he and Sayuki partake in a riverside cleanup. Similar to Yuika, Sayuki also recommences her efforts to win Keiki's heart. After evading Sayuki's unconventional advances, Keiki comes to the aid of Ayano, who has fallen into the river, and lends her his sports jacket in a gesture of appreciation. Ayano invites him to the student council room and attempts to lull him to sleep in order to acquire his underwear. Startled awake, Keiki listens as Ayano confesses her olfactophilia, her fondness for the sweet scent of boys, and her attraction to his particular aroma. To enhance Koharu's connection with Shuma, Keiki suggested arranging a bowling alley double date involving Shuma, Sayuki, Koharu, and himself. In response, Koharu made up her mind to express her affection for Shuma and disclose that she's a third-year student. Unfortunately, Shuma declined her heartfelt confession, which deeply saddened Koharu. Following this, Shuma visited the astronomy club room to offer his apologies for the way he handled the situation. He opted to establish a friendship before considering a romantic relationship. During this interaction, Shuma was startled to discover that Koharu had been a stalker who had taken numerous photos of him. The revelation occurred when he switched on the clubroom's lights and noticed his pictures plastered all around. Over the weekend, Sayuki and Yuika individually came to Keiki's house to pay him a visit. On both occasions, they made unusual requests for him to express love, leading to a misunderstanding with his sister. Subsequently, Mao contacted him and engaged in a brief conversation. Later on, he realized that the underwear he had received, along with the love letter, had gone missing. Following a discussion about this matter involving Koharu and Shuma, where they debated the sender's identity and the disappearance of the underwear, Keiki concluded that he would take on the role of Sayuki's mentor. He resolved to take her on a date, aiming to finally obtain a clear answer. Keiki embarked on a date with Sayuki at the amusement park, aiming to determine if she was the sender of the items, specifically by attempting to ascertain the type of underwear she had on. Despite his efforts, he was unable to discern this information during the course of their outing. Consequently, he opted to command Sayuki to reveal her underwear, only to be astonished by the revelation that she wasn't wearing any. This shock was compounded when he later discovered that Sayuki had actually taken his underwear. In his endeavor to make her confess to the panty theft, Keiki found himself trying to uncover the truth from Yuika. However, his plan backfired as he was caught in the act while attempting to investigate her underwear collection. This unfortunate turn of events led to Keiki being coerced into becoming Yuika's servant. Becoming Yuika's servant, Keiki was assigned various tasks reminiscent of a servant's duties. During this time, Yuika shared her personal history involving her grandmother and briefly recollected Keiki's previous interactions with her. It was during this period that Keiki unveiled that Yuika, much like Sayuki, had taken his underwear. As a result, Keiki was eventually released from his role as Yuika's slave. Later on, Mao approached him, engaging in a conversation and requesting him to create an illustration for her BL manga. While on his way to the astronomy club room, Keiki encountered Ayano. Astonishingly, Ayano pressed her face against Keiki's to catch his scent, followed by an unexpected gesture of offering him a 5-person ticket to the public swimming pool, which she didn't want to use herself. Upon entering the club room, Keiki experienced a sudden realization regarding the identity of the sender, which was triggered by his assistance in collecting Koharu's photographs. Utilizing the stub he had earned in the previous episode, Keiki arranges a swimming party for the girls in his life. Sayuki and Yuika, in particular, engage in a competition to capture Keiki's attention. Despite his desire to make everyone happy, eventually, Keiki finds himself alone with his younger sister, Mizuha, in the indoor pool where she experiences a cramp. This situation triggers Mizuha's memories of Keiki carrying her when they were younger. Although Keiki initially seems to have forgotten this incident, he observes Mizuha's gratitude. Simultaneously, Koharu organizes a contest requiring participants to deliver heartfelt confessions to the person they admire. As the girls compete in this contest, they subtly express their feelings for Keiki. He evaluates their confessions and continues to deduce who might be the mysterious Cinderella among them. The contest concludes with Mizuha earning significant applause from the audience, resulting in her victory. Subsequently, Keiki takes an unconventional step by playfully flipping Mizuha's skirt to glimpse her panties, which ultimately confirms his suspicions. Mizuha openly admits to being the one who left the love letter and her underwear in the calligraphy club room. She reveals that she concealed herself in the locker room and swiftly left to avoid Keiki's discovery. Moreover, she confesses her love for Keiki, citing his kindness, care, and understanding nature as the reasons for her affection. Keiki tries to downplay Mizuha's confession, asserting that they cannot be in a romantic relationship due to their sibling status. However, Mizuha challenges this notion by reminding him of their birth dates, revealing that they are only 5 months apart in age. With this revelation, Mizuha concludes that they are not true siblings after all. Mizuha persists in her romantic advances toward Keiki, prompting him to reaffirm their sibling relationship. Becoming frustrated, he chooses to leave the house, deliberately ignoring Mizuha's messages. As he walks through the streets, he reminisces about Mizuha's introduction into the Kurua household. Despite his attempts, Keiki's requests to stay overnight with Shuma and Koharu are unsuccessful. Caught in the rain, Keiki becomes soaked and later arrives home with a fever. Mizuha attends to Keiki as he battles his fever, with Sayuki and Yuika visiting him during this time. As the night progresses, his fever gradually subsides, leading him to make a trip to the bathroom. In an unexpected turn, he encounters Mizuha fully naked. Curious, he asks Mizuha about the reasons behind her love for him. Mizuha recalls Keiki's heartwarming words from when she first joined the household and reflects on how he's always treated her as a true sibling. This leads Keiki and Mizuha to reach an understanding, deciding to cherish each other as siblings. After that, they continue their lives as a family. However, Mizuha maintains her playful flirting with Keiki, even going as far as asking him to be her boyfriend for a day. Keiki agrees to her request, and during their date, he ponders the peculiarities of the girls in his life with their unique fetishes. To his astonishment, he discovers Mizuha's exhibitionist tendencies, stumbling upon pictures of her wearing only underwear or being partially unclothed. Mizuha explains that she'd only do such things if they were in a romantic relationship, but Keiki straightforwardly declines.